Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Back in the pilot server, and we are taking a look at one of the new features that is being added, and that is the docking feature. I say docking, they should rename it maybe to boarding. So as you can see here on this High Energy Fuel Research Institute, we have the dock feature, which is, you all know and love. You click it, you build an outpost on it, and you take control of it. And you get, in this case, 500 max sailing range, which, kind of useless to be honest, but it's next to my base. We're using this one as an example. Then you also have the docking feature, which we'll talk a bit once my fleets actually get over there. And what that does and what you can do with it. But you can get a bonus here, as you can see, control effects, something in Chinese, and then fleet's max sailing range plus 50. It's basically like taking control of outposts. It can be done on bases as well. It's very interesting on cities. We'll talk about the city one towards the end. But they all have, little different functions. In this one, for example, this is a trade port. If you go and take and board the trade port, you can reduce the cost of everything at the trade port by 20%, which is actually quite nice. There are other ones as well. I'm not going to list them all off because there's a lot. This one's quite cool. At 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., you'll get 8 prefab modules from this by controlling it. If you owned it, you get a basic repair speed of 10%. And it just gives like an additional option to all of these buildings. For example, I've never used this. I don't know anyone that has used trying to get 10% extra repair speed ever. But if you tell someone you can get an extra 16 prefab modules to rush out ships every day, they're going to want that. A lot of people will want that. It's actually not bad. These are really basic. These are level 1 facilities. The control difficulty is level 2 on them. So we can see that control difficulty here and control operation width and some other information that doesn't tell us too much about what's going on. Basically, control difficulty, how hard it is to take control of, how many fleets will probably come at you as well. I saw someone take a level 4 yesterday, and yeah, that was quite brutal. He ended up with, I think, like 2 pretty nasty fleets, and he lost IOs and almost lost a CTG in that fleet as well. So they hit pretty hard. So yeah, control difficulty earlier on, maybe control difficulty operations of 1 and 2 might be very reasonable to take. So, plus 50 sailing range early game's not bad, but, there's multiple of these. I can get plus 100. I might be able to get even a bit more than that. Getting that sailing range earlier on might actually help. Getting prefab modules early on is actually really useful. I try and rush out destroyer frig fleets in the early game. So, getting extra prefab modules and stuff, this is all sort of doable. There's other ones that will give you resources. You obviously have ones that this small commodity exchange, we have no idea what that one's going to do because it doesn't tell us. So we have the outpost docking feature, which is plus 300 UE coin production. But for taking control of it, we don't know yet. They have hidden from us quite a few. This one's a cool one. This is one of the ship ones. If you dock, you get defense hangar plus 10. If you board it and take control over it, once a day, you get some A101 combat attack fighters. It's like free ships. Why not? I mean, that's pretty good, right? We have crystal and storage here for one of the storage arrays. Another trade port here. Again, this one doesn't seem to have a dockable effect currently, but I guess we'll see if they do eventually. So, what do you need and what's going on with the whole control thing? Well, specifically, you need one of 3 ships, I believe, currently in the game. You always have one of them because it's a small utility ship. And then there are 2 frigates that we'll talk about. And some of you might be happy to know the toilet has a frigging use now. And so, yeah, there you go. So if we go into X8, you'll see it looks very different to what it actually looks like in-game on the normal server. It's got some weird little thing on the front of it, and they've randomly decided, you know what, it needs 4 more engines. Let's just slap 2 of them in front of the bridge so you can burn your crew alive as it thrusts around space. Devs, if you're watching this, the bottom ones are fine. Remove these top 2. Like, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. It'll look completely fine with 2 extra thrusters. Actually, I would personally put these off here, off the side, and then you'd have, you know, like some lower thrusters and then the 3 upper ones. It'd look better. And get rid of these, because, you know, you literally, if this is the command system, so this is the bridge, look where that thruster placement is, and like, no. Just no. It's not gonna work. Right, anyway, I digress. It has the control operation module. We can see here that it says ships can perform control operations in combat to seize control of the target. It's got cool little animations and stuff going on that we'll look at in a bit. And then we have the workload caused by a single operation of each weapon unit during an operation, and operations value is also subject to the target's operation difficulty. Operation intensity. The operation intensity and the target's operation difficulty will affect the actual operation volume and hit rate of the ship. I think some of these are badly translated. I think operation intensity is something to do with the speed in which you can take control of something. But we'll have to try and confirm that. I'll try and get that confirmed within next couple of days, and then I'll probably just add it as a comment on this video so you can have a look at that. So yeah, your small utility ship can do it. Your Noma landing support, so the siege type, now comes with a heavy control system operation here. We can see there's some extra internal modules, and we have this rather phallic looking thing on the front of it. But yeah, it is basically a boarding ship now, so which is really kind of cool. I don't know why it's glowing red. I don't know what the entire point of all that was, and put some fancy designs on it. No, it doesn't kind of. It takes away from the fact that this is a green Noma ship and now it's got weird red swirly things on it. So yeah, a bit odd in my opinion. The black's fine, but not the weird swirly stuff. So, as you can see though, we have actual upgrades here where we can increase the operation effectiveness. When an ally control operation progresses below 35%, the efficiency of operation modules within the system increased by 25%. So that early game, you get a faster progress, and then you're going to go into losing that. But then you get an overall process anyway when you are doing a control operation. We can see here that we have an operational efficiency of 9,494 per minute with an operational intensity of 4, whereas the the little tiny miner only has an operational intensity of 1 with no upgrades possible. There is cooldown here, as you can see, and we have the operational system increases by 10%. Haven't worked out if cooldown's better here over the extra efficiency, but we'll find that out eventually. Also, we can increase the efficiency by another further 5%, and we got the invasion efficiency upgrade, which I haven't picked up here, which I probably should do because it is the it will just increase the efficiency. So should we just do it? Yeah, why not? Let's go. Doesn't cost me anything while we're in here, so blah blah, something like that. That's way too much. Yeah, but whatever. Done. So we've now increased it, so we now have an operational efficiency of 10,285 per minute for each Noma, I believe. I don't know if there's a limit on how many Nomas can do this. We'll find out shortly. Well, we won't really find out shortly. I'd have to go through all my data. But the Noma isn't the only thing that's got it. The Mernubium has also got its weird little contraption on its roof. The toilet seat has evolved, and you wouldn't really want to sit on that anymore, which is kind of funny. So it's pretty much the exact same thing. We have the intrusive control operation system. It starts with a 2,700 assignment value. We've got an operation intensity of 3 here, and a control operation as well. For every 5% of control progress achieved by allies, the efficiency of operation modules within the system increased by 1%. This is kind of the opposite of the Noma, where the Noma gets a better start and a faster start at this operational intensity or efficiency, and then it falls off at 35%. Where this starts off with no bonuses, and then the first 5% you get 1% bonus, and it's going to be an increasing bonus as it goes. Overall, I think the Noma's slightly ahead of this, because even at, say, like 50%, you're only going to get a 5% bonus here. And I just don't feel that's probably the way to go, in my opinion. Although, again, we haven't really been able to test this properly out. I'm going to go the same again, I think, as the Noma. So we'll go double efficiency and one of the cooldowns here, and we'll look at what the efficiency is as well. We'll pick up one of these and we'll max this out quick as well, and then we can sort of have a little comparison. It's probably too much as well, but oh well. Yeah, way too much. 1,157, 71 per minute operation efficiency with an intensity of 3. So we got a higher operation efficiency here, but we have a lower intensity. So I'm not entirely sure what the intensity value does really at the moment. Still trying to work that out. But yeah, we have our fleet ready to go. We are going to hit the docking button. This is just a little test fleet I put together. It's got some CTGs, some IOs, and it has the Noma in there as well. So we'll watch this go in, because yeah, it's quite fun. Should be there almost. Oh, and the game has crashed. And we are back in and almost at this high energy fuel research institute. Yeah, sorry about that. The pilot server is having some issues, unfortunately. As you can see, we now have a little pop-up here. This telling you that you can get unactivated, you can get the fleet's max sailing range plus 50. Then we hit control. We hit confirm. Costs you 10 energy. I say energy, but AP. And yeah, off we go. This is it. This is what happens now. You will see the fleet's docking usually. I'm guessing because this is smaller, maybe we don't here. Which is kind of fun, because you actually see... we can see this one coming in for a dock. Oh, no, we can't. I clicked on the wrong one. Can I view this? No. So we can see one of the Nomas has actually docked over there, but it won't let me click on him. And I can't rotate around when clicking on that one, which is awkward. So yeah, oh, getting an angle? Getting an angle? No, we're not getting an angle. So we can see here that we have the high energy fuel research array. You got operational progress there is 4.5%. We're taking a bit of damage from something. There might be another fleet attacking us at the moment. Fleets will spawn and they will try and attack you. And yeah, you can actually damage things like the enhanced close weapon system. I actually haven't seen us doing damage, which is odd. It looks like we're supposed to be able to do damage, but we just haven't been at the moment. We are getting attacked by something that's just killed an IO off, which is actually impressive. What is attacking us? And yet another crash. So we are back. I have tried reinstalling the client multiple times, but it just is what it is at the moment. It is just crashing. I don't see any other fleet attacking us, so this damage is actually coming from doing this operation itself, which is kind of scary, to be honest with you. I mean, I've lost all my IOs. That's how much damage they've taken. I got CTGs there, though. Should be able to, you know, hopefully take a bit more of a beating. I think what you might want to do is bring support casts and something of that nature in here, series, or any of the abilities to heal. Oh, we are getting attacked by a fleet, as we can see, because we've just killed a Helios, Boreases, more Helioses. So there is a fleet. For whatever reason, it's not showing up here. Is what it is. Oh, we can see the second fleet here. Is this a second fleet? Yeah, there we go. And now the fleet has appeared. I wonder if that was why it was crashing, because I couldn't see what was going on. So they've sent some Heliuses out, which actually kind of makes sense now why we're taking a load of damage, because Heliuses are absolutely quite nasty ships, to be honest, for the pirates. Boreases as well are really good. And, well, the Rager is the best ship in the game, obviously. That's why I made that little advert for it. So, we are now just going to have to sit here and wait, I believe. A little bit boring till we see the test complete. Well, till we see my fleet take over anyway. So we'll come back and reconvene after that is completed or near completion, and we'll talk a bit about that. So we are back close to the end of this new control siege, and yeah, what can I tell you about it so far? It's slow for certain. Bring more Nomas. I did lose 3 of the 7 I brought. The fleets they send at you are no joke. They are full of Ragers, Boreas, Helios, AC-71 Pulse. I think there's armored FG-300s in there. I have lost 3 Nomas, a CTG, and I think 4 IOs. And these CTG are at, well, as you can see, at 3.5 versions. So they are not weak with maxed out armor system and maxed out main weapons and secondary weapon systems. And yeah, they took a beating. And this is a level 2 control. So it's only going to potentially get worse. It's also possible that what I thought was placeholder, because the level 5 control I saw happen, it was an identical fleet. So the fleet, the defensive fleets could be placeholder in the pilot service. You might find weaker fleets in-game when it actually drops. So yeah, I'd consider running something with some ability to sort of tank. So you want Oxcast series, something of that nature, and you'll do perfectly fine. We'll see in the battle report here. Yeah, so we have this is the guard fleet. So we took 2 guard fleets, and yeah, these things suck. Yeah, they did quite a lot of damage in sort of reasonable. I say 23 minutes. These weren't 23 minutes fights, because the both 23 minutes, and I wasn't fighting that entire time. So yeah, it's interesting though. Like they've done a lot of damage. Where did the damage come from? AC-71's the ion cannons, apparently. Jeez. Well, there you go. They just got nerfed, so I guess you don't have to look forward to fighting them too much anymore. And yeah, we have 112k for 23 minutes from the base itself. So that is the control. This is what I attempted on the city just to see what happens, and this is how I know there was a fleet going to be appearing and why I brought my own fleet. But yeah, this is now under my control, as we can see. Control difficulty 2. Loads of stuff and more in Chinese, whatever this means, defensive characteristics, which unfortunately we can't see. But after control, we now get an extra, in this case, 50 sailing range, which isn't realistically like particularly any good. It can't be taken over by anybody else now for the next hour, which is quite cool. So if you're worried about sort of taking stuff in the middle of war, you got an hour to sort of get onto it and reinforce it with fleets before somebody else can take it. Control effect is operational. I don't believe you get the docking effect. So you only do get the control effect, so bear that in mind, which is a little bit unfortunate, I do have to admit. And I'd also, Warren, as you notice, it didn't let me cancel my op there. Oh, it did let me cancel my op there. Oh, be careful when retreating, because if it cancels your op, you actually lose the control effect. So something to know is, you can see now, I don't control it anymore. So yeah, To keep hold of them, you have to have an operation on them. If you cancel the op, you will lose control of them, and obviously I'm not going to take that back, so it's kind of useless. Next chat might try and take control of a city. If we can see here, the effects from docking are mining dividends. Ally mines resources in the Earth space to get a 15% bonus to it. Distribution collection, it acts like an amp. And we have community ally receives 10% increased mining speed when collecting resources. So when you take control of a city and then you dock and control it, this city's operation area, this big yellow square, or blue square when you take control of it, becomes an amp for your community, which is absolutely amazing and makes taking control of cities earlier on very, very strong. So it'll allow you to, set up a nice defensive perimeter around cities. It just makes cities very, very good because you get an early game amp at the end of the day. You could take a level 2 city, control it straight off the bat, and now you have an amp. Make sure you get a good one. I mean, this is obviously pretty insane with, it's got a bit of everything, but double metal is fantastic for, base production and that kind of stuff. So yeah, control, really cool, interesting feature. It's got a nice little animation. Unfortunately, I missed it, where the ship like docks into the station that you're attacking, and all the bits move about and stuff. It looks good, so you got that to look forward to. It needs a little bit of work. If it crashes as much as this does on the main server, we're gonna have a problem because, like, I don't know how many cuts have you guys seen now in this video. Most of them are crashes, bar one, I think. So yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the control gameplay. I quite like it. I quite like the idea that you can do other things with some of these outposts. Like, again, 10% repair speed's just not worth anything to me. Not really, anyway. But more prefab modules is worth a lot. I always need prefab modules, especially at wartime, when I'm having to rebuild fleets and get them out as soon as possible. The repair speed, 10%, fantastic. But I don't have 10% extra time to waste. I'd rather get the prefab so then I can get the ships out instantly and get them going. So that is it for today. That is a little bit of a quick look at some of the control gameplay. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.